So, all 2026, I have been in a season of resetting. I had to evaluate the way I was showing up for others and the way that I was showing up for myself, you guys. And so, I realized last year that I was not always centering myself, but I was overpouring into others, showing up too much for other people, right? I had to pull my energy back. I had to pull my encouragement back. I had to pull me back so that I could replenish, right? But in a very grounded way. Because I realized after evaluating and sitting with my year, it wasn't anyone's fault. It was me. I needed to focus on me without apology and without shame, right? So I started focusing on what actually keeps me centered. And I share a lot about walking on this channel, which is one of the ways I stay grounded. I pray a lot. Journaling is one of my favorite activities to stay centered, right? Simple things, but I needed to start doing them consistently, right? And I also had to release some things, you guys. I had to release perfectionism. I had to release pressure from others. I had to release the need to always constantly cheer others on and to show up for other people. And I had to take that energy and give it to myself, right? And I was always showing up for others, but it wasn't always aligned, right? And I had to change how I saw discipline and what I even thought discipline was. And I had to redefine it. And for me in this season, it's just consistency, right? It's just small consistencies. And it changed everything for me, right? It wasn't about forcing or proving. It was about a consistency and a grounded way of being that felt rooted, right? And so I started to learn how to walk every day. But if I missed a day of walking, I wouldn't spiral. I wouldn't beat myself up, right? I had to learn to get up the next day and just pick back up. Because in the past, if I missed a day of something that I tried to set my mind to, I would spiral, beat myself up, keep beating myself up. And it was preventing me from just picking up the next day, right? You fall off the horse, you get back on. Of course, I don't ride horses, but it's a saying, you guys. And so, yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot and how it specifically connects to the Proverbs 31 woman, right? She was often described as busy. She was often described as doing a lot, but I see her as a lot of things, but never too busy, right? When I revisited the Proverbs 31 woman, I saw her as centered, right? Everything she does, everything it described about her, it was flowing from who she was, not from pressure and not from performance, right? She wasn't overextending herself. She was um extending herself, but not overly doing it. She wasn't trying to be everything to everyone, right? She was operating from alignment, right? And that's what I'm carrying forward in this season, you guys. I'm learning how to just align and how to be rooted first and grounded, and from that place, everything flows better. And from that place, I can do what I need to do. I can show up for myself first. I can fill my own cup, and then I can be ready to show up for others, right? And so I have a few questions for you. Um, Ask yourself these. You can journal them, or you can just ask yourself these questions out loud. Where have I been overextending my energy? The next question, what do I need to reset in this season, right? The next question, what does it look like for me to be rooted before I pour out to others? And that's a big one, right? It's not always major things that you need to do to align. Sometimes it's just making sure when you wake up, you take care of you first. That's it. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. It's not always a big deal. It's not always you need a trip. Now, listen, if you need a trip, though, take that trip, honey. I'm not saying don't take the trip. I'm saying often what's needed on a daily basis are small consistencies, small ways you show up for yourself. So I'm going to go to Proverbs 31. I'm reading it off the Bible app on my phone. And a couple of my favorite scriptures in the Bible are in Proverbs 31, but it's before you get to the Proverbs 31 woman. So Proverbs 8 and 9 say, speak up for the people who have no voice, for the rights of all the misfits. Speak out for justice. Stand up for the poor and destitute. That is some two scriptures that I love. And then it goes into a hymn to a good wife. Proverbs 31 starts at verse, I'm starting at 10. A good woman is hard to find and worth far more than diamonds. It keeps going. It's describing this woman who does all these things. She's well spoken, she's well dressed, she's well shopped. Um, when we keep going and we keep reading, it says she looks over a field and buys it. Then, with the money she's put aside, plants a garden, right? She gets up early, right? She's in no hurry to call it quits for the day. The next part that I love about her is she's quick to assist anyone in need, reaches out to help the poor. She doesn't worry about her family when it snows, right? Their winter clothes are all mended and ready to wear. Listen, she do a lot, but she doesn't do it before she takes care of herself and her family first. And that's what I started realizing. She was flowing from a place of overflow. She was flowing, the Proverbs 30 woman, from a place of I took care of home first. Now I can extend myself to others. I made sure that my situation was okay. Now I can pour out to other people. And often, I think personally, we're taught as women a lot of times to pour out to other people first. You have to unlearn some of that. You cannot pour from an empty cup, meaning you can't give someone else something you don't have. If you overgive and over deplete yourself, if you overgive your encouragement, if you overgive your joy, but you haven't encouraged yourself, if you haven't looked in the mirror and encouraged you, hear me, encourage you first. You're supposed to be encouraging and flowing from a place that's overflowing. If I can't look in the mirror and speak kind, encouraging words over Kimberly, then I should not be speaking them to other people. I need to start with myself, right? And that's what I started realizing. She wasn't worried about the winter because she had already stocked her home. She had already put up the clothes she needed for her and her family, right? She kept an eye on her household. Listen, I used to read this as more of an assault, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And if I'm being honest, often in the past, that's how it was taught. But because I'm healing and I'm looking at things for myself, reading the Bible for myself, right? Praying and asking God the meaning for myself, I'm realizing no, this is just a woman who aligned, took care of herself first, and from that place took care of other people, including her household, right? And so again, this season for me is about a reset, a refocus, being rooted, disciplined. And when I say the word discipline, substitute it for consistent, being consistent, consistently getting my 10,000 steps a day in, consistently drinking my water, right? Consistently staying hydrated. Let me do that now. Consistently making sure that I'm taking care of myself, and that when I pour out, I'm pouring out from a place of abundance, from a place of being overfilled, overflowing, and just knowing who I am, right? And so, what about you guys? Can you relate? Have you ever been in a season where you were like, man, I am exhausted? And when you think about the reason why, it could potentially be because you're pouring out to others, but not first replenishing yourself, right? And listen, that's also comes in other forms. I'm speaking about encouragement. I'm speaking about joy, but I'm also talking about money. Did you save money for you first before you gave it, right? I'm speaking about just energy. Did you put energy into you first before you extended energy into other people or into their cause? You guys, it is nothing wrong. I feel the need to drive this point home. Listen, do not feel guilty or start working on this for yourself because it's not going to happen overnight. Conditioning is conditioning. But when you feel guilty for taking care of yourself, maybe you sit with that. What's coming up for you? Are you hearing the voice of the past calling you selfish? Are you hearing people in your head from the present who think you're selfish? Whatever it is, sit with it. Again, I'm going to drop these journaling prompts, right? What does it look like for me to be rooted before I pour out? Sit with that. Ask yourself some questions if you feel guilty. Why am I feeling guilty, right? Do I need to do something that I haven't done for other people from my place of abundance, though, from a place of overflow. And so, yeah, you guys, I just wanted to come on here and share this with you all. Hopefully, it resonates with you. I'm sure it's resonating with someone, but definitely take this season, reset, refocus, and root into your own life. What are you supposed to be focused on? That's what I had to get. What is my focus in this season? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish in this season, right? And let me put my energy first towards that. Not that I won't, care about other people or look out for others, but first, let me make sure I'm taking care of myself. And so, if this resonated with you, definitely like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, do all the things, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.